what you think about bush wraps and other alternatives. So I'd love to hear your thoughts.
What's the new Rhinohide? I know they've got the magnetic
Yeah.
ones. What's the new one?
So
They got a new mechanism.
the old Rhinohide with the magnets, you had to be careful and clean those magnets after a trip.
Yeah.
I was very bad at that. I left them on. It did end up scuffing into the paint a little bit, and then the others came out because of people like me. They brought out this really high temperature resistant M3 tape. You stick these dots on, and you had this Zeus, was it like a Zeus torque sort of thing?
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. I do know those ones.
So that would fasten it.
Yep. I like those. Those are good.
Yeah. But the thing is, when you took all the panels off, if you were going to take them off,
You're stuck with the.
Yeah, it looks like cars got
You're stuck with the bolt
polka
things
dots.
on it,
Yeah, you got a black car or a square car like a Jeep or a Land Cruiser. It kind of looks. It looks alright. It looks pretty cool. Well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But I think they kind of look okay. But on like rounder cars like a Prado and stuff, it looks a bit funny without the panels on. Now, so that's one thing. The advantage of having that is dent resistant and scratch resistant. But you still have to wash the paint underneath. And you can remove those dots and all that. So
Is it relatively easy to move?
yeah, it's relatively easy to remove. Just with the right chemicals that don't damage your paint but remove stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty easy to remove. Use a bit of like almost like dental floss. You put in between to get them off.
Yeah.
And it's best when it's warm.
Yep.
Yeah. Then you have bush wraps. Bush wraps are the cheaper alternative option to not wrapping your entire car. So the thing with bush wraps, they generally stop at window height. They stop short about 5 mil from all edges of your doors, everything. You don't have one for the bonnet. You don't have one for the back. But they will protect your vehicle, and they're self-healing in heat. So particularly summer in Australia, you could scratch your car, it'll heal itself. Then there's the next level wrap, which is what I have on a 76. And Chris is going down that route as well.
It's a good route.
It's freaking awesome. This can change the look of your car, but also protects the entire car. So you can have a gloss one, which just makes your car look like it's polished all the time. So it looks nice the whole time. And then you can get the satin, which is what I got. The thing is, you're now looking at about just shy of $10,000. I think it's like $9,000, but it lasts for 10 years. I think bush wraps is probably 10 years as well. It's the same material, but this covers the entire car. They take all the panels off. They clean your car 3 times over to make sure nothing gets in between it all, because they need to make sure it's going to last 10 years. Your car is protected for 10 years, and you could literally drive through parrot bush, up in the hills. That shit's really
that'll give
scratchy.
You
Yeah,
pinstripes.
Come out the other side. Your car might look like a scratched mess, but once you put a bit of heat on it, if it's summer, if it's winter, it'll just take longer to heal. And then the scratches just magically disappear.
Yeah, so if you can afford it, that's the one to go for.
Yeah.
That's definitely...
Yeah.
I mean, it looks really good.
Yeah.
Doesn't scratch.
Yep.
Just really expensive. Rhinohide's not...
Rhinohide is probably about $1,600 to $2,000. Not available for all cars. Bush wraps, I think, is about $3,000, maybe a touch more. You can get cheaper. You got to install it yourself. This other stuff, you can't install it yourself. You need to be a pro to do it. So Jono used to work for me. He used to wrap cars, but he said that's like another step up. So unless he works and practices with them, he wouldn't know how to do it either, because it's a different material.
Yeah.
So that's coming from a professional's perspective on that in that business. But another thing that Jono alerted me to was, yes, you can wrap your car for about $5,000 and change the colour of it. But even though the wrap might be guaranteed for 5 years, 7 years, that's in a certain region of UV light, right? So if you're in heat all the time and you're up in the tropics or whatever, you're up in the Kimberley, you got heat beating down in your car, that wrap's going to have to be changed every year or two.
Really?
Yeah, and not only that, if you leave the wrap on for too long, it embeds into your paint. But this clear wrap doesn't. So the clear wrap doesn't do that. It allows your paint to breathe. It doesn't interfere with your paint. All the other wraps that are coloured, they will work their way into your paint.
Right. So the wrap you've got will eventually work its way
No.
into your paint. No, because you've got the clear wrap.
Yep.
Right.
I've got the clear wrap.
Right.
So that's
And is yours
done
going to
in Mad
last
Ink
longer
in
up
Perth.
in
Yeah.
the Kimberleys and all that
Yeah,
kind of stuff?
it'll last 10 years.
Yeah. No matter what the...
No matter what. They
right.
guarantee it for 10 years.
Okay.
So
that's the one to go for.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they guarantee it for 10 years, it's probably going to last longer than that. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'll have the car for 10 years, you know? So whoever would... Yeah, it will help me sell the car too because it's not scratched. The 79 had the Rhinohide on literally to hide the scratches, but also I did like the look of the Rhinohide on that car.
Yeah, on the
because
79 it looks tough.
Yeah.
It looks tough.
But it was hiding a lot of dents, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of dents.
Yep. So,
Oh, well.
yeah, a bit of a long-winded answer, but there's all your options. But I would, look, if you're going to buy a new car, that's where you would go that type of wrap. If you got a second-hand car, you wouldn't go down that line. You would probably go bush wraps or something or Rhinohide. Those two.